Hello and welcome, or welcome back to Film Talk, the place where, as the title suggests, we talk about film. Today I will be talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is obviously directed by Zack Snyder, and it stars Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, Ray Fisher, and Karen Hinz, and was released March 18th, 2021 on HBO Max. So, coming out of this movie, I absolutely loved it. I found the 4 hours to be very enjoyable, and watching this movie with people just as excited as you are really worked. I also think that the aspect ratio was really only noticeable for a few minutes before you are just absolutely entranced into the plot and visual effects. But alright, let's just start off with the good. I would say that this movie is entirely better than the first. If you don't know my opinions on the Whedon cut, I absolutely hated it. I thought it was dreadful to sit through, and everything that happened in it just made me really, really mad. The jokes felt really tacked on, and the visual effects were honestly terrible. Also, none of the characters really got much development in the original, especially compared to this. This movie felt what is a character-based movie sometimes, just because of all the evolution that we got through the characters for the 4 hours. Specifically Cyborg really got nothing in the original cut, and now I absolutely loved him. In the Whedon cut, I felt that the Flash was very annoying and unlikable, but in this movie, he was hilarious and had some very heartfelt scenes, specifically with his dad, and it all just really worked for me. Batman was also darker in this, which I absolutely loved. Aquaman was somehow cooler, as he was one of the only good things about the first Justice League. Wonder Woman and Superman were just even more epic in every scene that they were in, and Steppenwolf was actually a scary and good and sort of obviously motivational villain, if that makes sense. It means that he was well motivated, I guess. And I just think that everything in it was just more epic. I actually felt a lot of sympathy but also hatred for Steppenwolf every single time his relationship with his family was brought up. And in the original film, there was really no explanation for how he found out where all the mother boxes were and how he got to them. But in this movie, we got extended information about it, and I found that to be absolutely perfect. I think it was a little more confusing in the first one just because of us not knowing what is even going on. It felt really choppy, and it didn't really make any sense. A massive thing for me in this was the visual effects. I thought that the battle in the past between the Amazonians, the Atlantean humans, and the Lanterns versus Darkseid and his group was one of my favorite sequences in the film. It felt very 300-esque, and although I haven't seen all of Snyder's films, the people that I was with said that this movie took things from every one of his films, which I found to be very interesting. I also really enjoyed the final battle when Superman shows up. I thought that everything about that worked really well, and I thought the parental themes in this movie also really worked, and I really felt every character got a relationship that was about them and either a past or still alive parent, and you could really feel for them. In terms of some of the more smaller characters in the film that didn't get nearly enough screen time, I thought that every scene with Darkseid was phenomenally done. I was loving every minute he was on screen, and what Ray Porter and the crew of the movie were able to do, he just felt so menacing and scary. In terms of the Lex Luthor Deathstroke scene, I enjoyed that too. In the theatrical cut, Lex tells Slade that they need to form a league of their own, which felt sort of cringy and tacked on, but in the it also felt like lots of reshoots. In the obviously correct version of the film, aka this one, Luthor just tells Deathstroke that Batman is Bruce Wayne, and that definitely feels like something that was setting up the Batfleck trilogy, which I really wish we would have gotten, as Batfleck is my favorite Batman. So I guess I just thought that that was all pretty cool. Now, in terms of the nightmare scenes, they were the thing I was waiting for the entire film, as they were the thing based off the trailers and the storyboards that I had heard that just intrigued me the most, and I was not let down. Seeing Batman, Joker, Flash, Cyborg, Mera, and Deathstroke hiding from Superman was absolutely awesome, and all the nightmare scenes did confirm that Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Harley Quinn are all dead, which was sort of my question going into it. I thought that the conversation between Joker and Batman was very great and felt very intense. I thought that some things that happened in it were a little weird, and I'm still not completely set on Jared Leto's Joker laugh, but I thought he did a much better job in this one. I thought that the cameo at the end of Martian Manhunter was also really cool, and also the scene where he walks out of Amy Adams Lois Lane's apartment as Martha. I thought that the visual effects for his character looked very good, and he seems to be a very intriguing character, and I feel he needs to get his own HBO Max series, or at least his own movie. And it was clearly reshoots, though, in that final battle, or in the final scene when Batman wakes up. I thought that was quite obviously reshoots, as if you don't know, Affleck's been going through a lot recently, and his life has been a lot different recently, and I thought that was pretty noticeable. Now, as much as I love the MCU, I feel that in their films, if Iron Man is in it, he is quite clearly the best character of the film by a long shot. In this movie, though, I really couldn't tell you who my favorite character is, as they all got awesome moments and scenes. Now, I really only have one big thing that I didn't like in this movie, and that was there was too many slow-mo sequences. There were a lot of scenes that felt just sort of tacked on just for the point of being slow-mo, and there was literally a close-up slow-motion scene of a sesame seed flying in through the air, and that was not necessary at all. I actually think that if you took out some of the slow-mo scenes, I feel like the movie's runtime would be about 3 hours, 15 minutes to 3.5 hours. So overall, I would give this a 4.5 out of 5 because it felt extremely epic and all the characters were phenomenal. And I also forgot to say, all of the score and the songs and everything just elevated this film to an even greater epicness. Specifically, every time Wonder Woman was on screen and started doing a mash of one sort of song that we hadn't heard before, but also her obvious theme. Yeah, and I did feel that some of the slow-mo scenes didn't work, but overall I think everything else takes it out of it, and I would give this a 4.5 out of 5. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and comment down below your thoughts on this movie.